Hi everyone, Liz Tintinelli here again with Liz in Detroit, trying to give you the most up-to-date information regarding today's market in real estate. As we have skated past the new year, it seems like much of 2020 is still following our shoulders. I don't quite feel like we've hit the new year yet, but I'm anticipating that things are going to be moving smoothly very soon. It's a little crazy right now, and I anticipate it to be that way for a while, but who knows, maybe this is what to expect for 2021. But I kind of wanted to start to do these little excerpts to assist clients who might be looking to purchase so that they can get a better idea of what things are like out there in the marketplace. So if you have specific questions that you want answers on, feel free to reach out to me on my email at lizindetroit.com, or you can send me a text message, 313-617-2699, and I'd be happy to go over what concerns or issues that you might be having or just wondering about with buying in today's market. In particular, as crazy as this market is, if you're looking to buy, there's certain things that you want to be mindful of when you're going for that purchase. To have the best offer forward in times of multiple offers, we're still in that time right now with the limited inventory that we have and no anticipation of there being any kind of opening of the floodgates with more inventory. You've got to be mindful of what you need to do in order to get your offer accepted. And again, there are several variables that I'll go over today, and some may apply regarding the neighborhood, the house that you're looking at. Every seller is different, but these are just tools that can assist you with trying to put the best offer forward. So for one, when you're submitting in a buyer's offer, having a higher earnest money deposit. Typically I see anywhere from 1% to maybe 2% of your offering price, but sometimes increasing that amount is a big deal, and that's seen as a strong buyer approach from a seller. Two, on that same note of the earnest money deposit, is if you really want this property bad enough, you might set some timelines so that when you place that larger earnest money deposit, some of that will automatically become hard, meaning non-refundable if you choose to go forward with the offer or not. So that can lead a seller to believe that you're going to indeed move forward with your offer. So say, just for example, you put down a $10,000 earnest money deposit on a purchase price of a property. For the seller to know that you're serious, you may make, $3,000 or $4,000 of that $10,000 non-refundable in the event that you choose to back out outside of any of your normal contingencies. That brings me to the next point, number 3, contingencies. I'm not the biggest proponent on waiving an inspection contingency, but some people do that. What it requires on you for a buyer is to really be prepared when you're doing that look of the property the very first time. If you've got to rush and get in an offer to meet a deadline, look through it as much as possible. Granted, we can't see what's inside the walls, but if you do your due diligence on that walkthrough and you hope to anticipate no major issues that happen, you can do the inspection contingency just for your own benefit, but stipulate some guidelines that you're not going to go back to the seller if you find things wrong. So that inspection contingency is just for your knowledge, but not as a means to renegotiate. And oftentimes that's the biggest misconception that buyers can have. They think, oh, I'll put in an offer price or go above asking, but if I find anything in the inspection report, I can always renegotiate my offer. That isn't sometimes the case, and especially in these heightened markets with multiple offers, a seller could simply send over a release because I'm going to go on to buyer number 2 or buyer number 3. So you got to be mindful of that. Next is appraisal. So in these times, we're often seeing that people want properties bad enough that they're willing to offer asking price or higher. But that doesn't mean a lot to a seller if you're not going to put some skin in the game sometimes. So they want what's called appraisal protection. So that means if you're willing to put your money where your mouth is and offer over an asking price, you're willing to put some skin in the game if that appraisal comes in short of what you're offering. And again, this can vary greatly based on the needs of an individual buyer. It can be $2,000, it can be $5,000, it can be $10,000, it can be $20,000. Just knowing that can further solidify how strong your offer can be. Just to throw something out there, say a property is being offered for $315,000, it's got multiple offers. Maybe you want to place in an offer for, say, 17 over, so you put an offer in for $367,000. You might want to throw in an appraisal protection that if there's a shortfall in appraisal, say you'll cover up to $7,000 or $10,000 of that shortfall. So that just gives a further leg up of the strength of what you're putting forward in your offer. So that's something that you can, balance based on your financial security. So you don't want to do anything that's going to overextend you, that's going to make this purchase go from a good deal to a bad deal and throw things off your margins of a threshold, for tolerance on your pricing. But that's another great deal. Next is if you've got yourself fully vetted from your lender. So this is point number 4. Make sure when you are going forward with your looking at properties that you've gotten more than a pre-approval letter from the lender that you're using. Give them all your financial docs up front, so that they can pretty much qualify you for the loan outside of getting the appraisal on the property that you're going for. That way there won't be any kind of an issue with closing the deal swiftly, because sometimes timing is a really big thing that you need to watch for in your offer submission. Can you go for, 30 days, or can you maybe do a deal that's even less, like 20 days? So that's another consideration, as I probably have somebody that's waiting to get a hold of me right now. But those are really, really strong key things. There's a whole other item to consider in the event that you are a seller trying to sell in this market. So we can definitely hit those points the next time we talk, but this is just a brief interlude into today's market as a buyer. So if you have any questions or concerns, or you're looking for top-notch representation, you know who to call, and that's me. Again, I can be reached at 313-617-2699. Look on my website, lizindetroit.com, and you can send me an email, or directly through lt@lizindetroit.com. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you soon.